Okay guys, there's a big Dawn of Fire update coming tomorrow, and I would like to predict what it might be. Either the update will be good or it won't be good. An example of a won't be good update would be adding another outer island and leaving it there. I would consider that a not good update. It doesn't fix the problem that the game has. The problem being that the game isn't that fun. I mean, yeah, you can collect the monsters, you can fill up the islands, you can discover the music, but the game loop isn't there. What would be a good update for Dawn of Fire is an update that changes how the game works. It changes how you play the game, and it makes it fun again. I don't know exactly what this would look like. It may be unfixable, but if it's humanly possible, monsterly possible for them to fix Dawn of Fire, I would really like for that to happen. So, you guys probably saw the teaser. There were the essences and they were shooting around the sky. Did you guys recognize that sky? I'm not exactly sure what that was. I feel like maybe it was the Nexus sky. Let me look it up. Okay, I found the sky. It is actually the sky in the Dawn of Fire Celestial Telescope. I'm not sure what this could mean, but the essences are flying around in there. They've got these glowing paths behind them. This is just a teaser, so I guess you can't look too much into it, but the fact that they're shooting around the sky makes me think that something's coming, and maybe it'll be good. Let's go over a few theories for what it could be. First, a new island. This would be much needed because apparently the seasonals and mythicals aren't coming to the outer islands. But if they are going to an outer island, what would that outer island be in the normal game? I guess it could be completely destroyed in the Cataclysm, which would make it not have to be explained in the full game, but you know they're not gonna do that. Where are these monsters gonna go? From my limited look into the lore, it could theoretically go wherever Shanty was. I don't actually know how long Shanty's been around. I would love for the Phase 2 idea that Nova and MPG talked about to happen. That would be incredibly cool, just to see what happens next, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen. The Celestials are in Dawn of Fire, and they all correspond to an element that exists in Dawn of Fire, except for the ones that correspond to ethereal elements. Could we be getting some sort of ethereal counterpart in Dawn of Fire? I'm not sure how that would work in the lore, but it would be sick. But if that's what it is, then where are the seasonals and the mythicals going? Okay, so here's the thing. There are two loose ends here. There's the mythicals and seasonals, which don't have an outer island or a place to be an adult right now. And then there are these essences. The problem is, I don't think these are related to each other. The essences all correspond to a natural element, and what was teased here is the essences. So now I'm not even sure if we're gonna get the mythicals and seasonals adult forms in this update. So what are we getting? It's less than a day until we know for sure what it's gonna be, so let's just lock in a final theory and then see how close we are when it actually comes. The essences are on the continent, which means we're going to have to use them on the continent to get whatever the new content is. It better not be any decoration or new food or anything like that. I think it's gotta be fuel or something. Oh, wait a second, guys. Here's a fun one. What if this update does bring some sort of Phase 2 related to the Cataclysm? The prismatic portals open up, it starts sucking stuff in, and we can move to Phase 2 via some sort of time element on the map. This might mean we get multiple new islands or just one for now until they make more. But Phase 2 would have some stuff that covers what happens in between Dawn of Fire and the normal game. Those essences, they can be used across the Cataclysm. What if you move forward in time and all of a sudden you have an alternate version of the continent, one that's starting to rip apart? You could still access your storage for the items, which means you can use the essences. The essences would be used to create new monsters because they keep getting sucked off the continent or something. You know what? I like that. Yeah, sure. Let's just go with it. So the first island that'll be introduced is New Plant Island. Let's call it Proto Plant Island. This is the one that was in the middle of the continent, and you can access it just by moving towards it. If you want to go check out Proto Cold Island, Air Island, Water Island, Earth Island, you literally just pan over there. Everything is floating in the prism gate. So instead of having a map, you literally just move towards the island that you want to see. The further you get away from an island, the more it'll fade out until you get to the new island and all of a sudden that's where you are. That would be so cool. Since the monsters have been kind of sucked into this mess, like, we don't know where they went. I don't know have we seen monsters while they're in the prism gate other than sort of whale? Whale. What? Okay, wait, maybe this is related. Wait. What if it can move through time? What if the Ethereals are coming? Wait a second. It's like islets. Oh, ooh, okay. So the plant, instead of proto plant, we got plant islet right there, and then you can pan over to water islet or cold islet or earth islet or air islet, and there's like, each one of them has its own breeding station, right? Since there are still 5 breeding stations, even though there was only 1 incubator, but they could still split them back into 5 incubators because of the Cataclysm or whatever. So now, all of a sudden, you've got 5 islets, one with breeding structure and an incubator, which means that you would have a chance. Ooh, wait a second, but you'd have all the plant fire monsters. You'd have all of the monsters with the plant element on plant islet. Oh my gosh, this, okay. And then you can still breed the Ethereals, and then that would explain how we would have access to the new Ethereal Island. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait a second, I really like this. Introducing Cobra's version of Era 2. In the map, you can time travel. Once you are the max level, you can time travel. This increases the level limit. You can go up to level 100 now, and you're basically in the new... You go inside the prism gate, so you can click prism gate, and all of a sudden it warps you into the second era. Ooh, okay, so let me try this again. Cobra's phase 2, right? So you go through the portal, the prism gate, and all of a sudden you're there with all the big balls of island and whatever. Yeah, you've got your plant islet and your cold islet and your air islet, and they're crumpled into balls. These are smaller than normal islands. They're islets. You could even have them rotating. The monsters could be like going around. Ooh, but it's got the breeding structure and it's got the incubator, and you can breed stuff like normal, except now you only have monsters with the plant element. Wait, but how would you get all of them? With the essences! Okay, so you have access to the essences, right? You can only start with potbellies on Plant Islet, but you can merge with the essences. Just get rid of the incubator, get rid of the breeding station. All of a sudden, you're merging potbellies with the essences to get the monsters. And now you have a purpose for the essences. You have a way to do phase 2. Everything is perfect. Okay, I feel like I need some concept footage now. This would be incredibly cool. You see the essences shooting around, and it will work similarly to the islets, because they are islets, and instead of meebs, you have essences. Does this make sense? This could be such a cool update. Okay, I gotta get some concepts ready. I don't have any time to record. I need to make concepts. All right, guys, happy monstering. Just take a look at what I've got. Okay, guys, you're gonna have to forgive me. This is the worst concept I've ever come up with, but here we go. Basically, phase 2, you access it by clicking on a portal, and it takes you to the next phase. You can still go back, probably with another portal on the map somewhere, but in phase 2, you are in sort of an open world, and whichever island you zoom to is the song that you hear. Instead of navigating a map, you literally just navigate by swiping from one island to another. I know this looks terrible, I'm sorry, but the concept is that the chunks of the islands are floating around, but you access a machine, probably one on each island, where you put the monster inside, you use essences on the monster to get it to the next phase. So for example, okay, so you stick a potbelly in there, and you infuse it with a snow essence, and it becomes a furcorn, right? How do you get more monsters? Ooh, that's perfect. Send them through the mirror gate. You'll have to do it on the outer islands, which is kind of perfect, right? It's the next step after the outer islands. You send it in to the mirror gate, and it comes out on phase 2. It has to be the single element for that islet, and from there you infuse them up to whatever monster they are, and then you can move them to whatever island you need. I don't know, maybe they just won't sing if they're not on the right islet. Anyways, that's my idea. I think it's a really cool idea, and if I get even close to whatever they're releasing tomorrow, I will be proud of them for making something very cool, being bold and courageous. Otherwise it's just gonna be a little bit lame, but whatever. I'm still gonna be excited, and I will see you guys in the stream. I hope you like the concept, and for real this time, happy monstering. Oh yeah, by the way, did you see the sky? I went back and looked at the trailer with the mirror gate, and the sky is the same as the one in the teaser. The sky from the telescope on Starhenge is the same sky that's in the trailer where they're inside of the mirror gates during like the Cataclysm. It's the same sky, guys. Do you understand this? There is a connection, and I could be right, and we could be getting phase 2, and I'm freaking out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy monstering. Oh yeah, thank you to my lovely Patreon member and my lovely YouTube members for letting me drink soda while I edit, except for tonight because it's getting late and I'm not going to drink caffeine while I go to sleep. Good night.